Pretty cool how we have the old Kalamazoo mansion here that has the business built on the front, Kalamazoo Sportswear. Also the loading dock and a little building with receiving and carpet receiving, when this used to be a little carpet store back before it was Kalamazoo Sportswear. Pretty cool. And a lot of business been through there. See you in the next one. I've been asked to go out Stadium Drive from downtown. Some people call it West Michigan Avenue. It turns into Stadium right up here. This is the physical plant here on the left, Michigan or Western Michigan University. Right here used to be the printing services building and so forth back in there as well. Here's the Sealy Practice Center, Athletic Center, and then of course Waldo Stadium, home of the Broncos, Bill Brown Alumni Field and Center. There's also where the Broncos play baseball, right through the rain. This is the new boulevard. They opened just about a year and a half ago. This used to be 2 lanes west, 2 lanes east. No turning lane until you got down here by the lights. And they reconfigured this. Actually, I like this a lot better. Slowed it down some. There was a lot of drag racing going on and so forth. You can see main campus over here, Reed Fieldhouse and so forth on the right. Interesting, there's a Mercedes right ahead of us, and that's what we're going to go out here and talk about here next. Be right back. There used to be a couple car dealerships downtown in Kalamazoo back in the day when I was a boy. There still is one down there, and it is a Mercedes dealership. The Denoyer Chevrolet and of course Gilmore Cadillac Pontiac, they moved out, one to Schoolcraft, one to Portage. They are still in business, but the mainstay of our automotive sales areas is right out here in Stadium Drive, also up on West Main. West Main Motors up there. Man, you need a Subaru or an Audi, there you go. And I don't work for them. I just like Subarus and Audis. And they're a good place. Boy, that's a great place, West Main. As we travel out here past Howard Street, and come on a little area that used to have a gas station, converted into another business or two. There's a used car business there for years, and it just recently closed. You'll see it coming up here in just a second. Also used to be a couple of large trailer parks over here to the right. Back in the day, there's remnants of one that's left. There also used to be a couple of more homes sat down here near this marathon station down here to the right. Here was Stadium Motors here on the left. Okay, but now the place that I just have heard about, right up here, and you can see the Nissan dealer, and out here everybody. Denoyers is out here as well. This area right here used to be a bowling alley set down low, wayside lanes. They had to fill this all in and bring this way up the level. And then here was the entrance to one of the trailer parks right there. And I think that's gone. What we want to do is pop right in here just for a second, because this location right here, okay, This used to be Wayside West. Big hopping bar. Big college bar. So forth. So on. I'd only been in here just a couple of times. Last time I was in here, I was working at Cracker Barrel Restaurant. And the manager had us all come out here for a little party that he threw. Okay? Now, since then, it turned into they had card games. They had to put a gambling room in here. A poker room, I should say, not a gambling room. It's had a couple of tenants and parts of the building. I think that there was quite a gym in here at one time. I believe that right here there's a cannabis store. Right there. Okay? But this is said to be the new location of the Mercedes dealership, and that they're going to have an elevator, a car elevator in here, and some other stuff. And I'm trying to find out exactly what that car elevator thing is. That like those Carvanas that they have, you know, the tower that you can order your cars, and they come down out of a vending machine, or are they going to kind of stack them up and bring? I don't know. But this is where it's supposed to be. And it's said that the owner is already starting to store things here. I see some vehicles parked here, but I don't know who the owner is or anything like that. But I can tell you about another Cracker Barrel story here. Okay? And this happened when they had another entrance right over here. They blocked that entrance in. It's no longer there. They put a curb up. But it was one afternoon, and the assistant manager in there invited myself and one of the other lead trainers there, out here to have a couple of drinks and some lunch, because they had good food here. And so we come flying in here, and I was riding in the front seat. The other cook was, I'm not gonna mention his name, he was riding in the back seat. And this assistant manager come flying in here. This parking lot was covered with ice. It was in the winter time. There was barely nobody here. And he just flew right straight back here, just like I'm driving right now, and just tromping it. And I kept telling him, we'll just use the name Bob. I kept saying, Bob, stop, what are you doing, man? He didn't know where he was at. He wasn't from around Michigan. About right here, I bailed out. I opened up the door of the car and slid right on my butt, right on the pavement, right next to us here to the right. And Bob and the other cook went right off the precipice right here. And this goes downhill. And I'll get out here a second. I think I can show you. Just give me 1 second. This goes downhill about 45 or 50 feet. You can see a security fence down there. And then it's the pads for the trailer park that's now been ripped out of there. There are trailers. That was the little road right there on the other side of that security fence right down here. Right here are the pads for the trailers that are all parked in there. Them two guys went right straight over that precipice and ended up down there nosed in, boom, right on the ground. Airbags deployed and everything else. I'll be right back. I was getting my butt up off the ground right over here. One of the employees came from this back door. They were standing out there having a cigarette. They come over here saying, what the hell, man? Are you okay? I said, I'm all right. We ran over here to the side and looked over, and all there was them two brake lights down the hill, all in snow. We couldn't even get down to them. We had to walk around, way around and down over on this side and down around the road and come back to where they were at. Yep, they got out. They were okay. They were stupefied. I guess that's the name, their word for it. The wrecker had to pull them back up the hill into this parking lot because he couldn't get them from down below. Yep. I remember the police coming and so forth. Why the assistant manager was dealing with the police and all that, the other cook and I got a ride back to where our cars were at the Cracker Barrel, and we went home for quite a story. We never seen that manager again. He never showed back up to work. Well, another little fact out here about the little Wayside. They had quite a party bar when it turned into the poker room, and right here Wayside is again. Pass it here, heading inbound. Had some violence in here, and there was a couple of shootings. Yep, there was one individual started shooting the place up down the poker room area, and one of the employees, I believe the employee was not on the clock at the time, but was legally armed, was one of the security people there, went in to break it up, and shots were fired, and a person in there, I believe, was killed. There another person was chased, and another time, as I remember it, boy, something about chased out into the parking lot, shots fired out in the parking lot. Somebody was hit out there. Another time, and then the assistant manager, another cook, and myself over the edge. I bailed out. I know when to eject. I'm sorry. You don't have to wait for me. You know, like it was said in some Hollywood a few years ago. It says, you don't have to wait for me. You hear me say eject, I'm gone. And when I seen he was going over that edge and there was no stopping it, there was absolutely no, and he was going 30 miles an hour. It was quite a hit. I said, I'm biting it. I'm not going over that edge. And so out I went. And thank the good Lord, the ice was firm enough and skeechy enough. I just slid along for about at least 10, 12 feet. And I thought, man, I probably wore a hole, but it was on the ice, you know. Right through my pants, you know, but no damage. A little scuffed up. The guys that were standing out there having a cigarette said that it was the weirdest thing they seen. The guy, what's he doing? Is he insane? And then this guy bails out. Be right back. Well, thanks, folks, for not bailing out on this one. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna go to a site now, another video here in South Westnedge where there was quite an accident yesterday. There were 7 people that were injured at a gas station. Yep. A couple of bikers. Yep. Just sitting there getting gas. Be right back in the next one. Thanks for watching.